Okay, good morning, welcome to
Number 1088.
Yeah, I think FamilyMath1088. So today we're gonna spend a little bit of time looking at a concept that we've studied in the past, including as recently as last week, some higher dimensional shapes. So I have three examples of four-dimensional shapes right here that we've looked at in the past, and we had another 3D printed four-dimensional cube, but I couldn't find it. So tell me about some of these shapes.
Well, since you can't actually make these shapes in the fourth dimension, these are just three-dimensional representations of what they would look like. So for this shape, this is a four-dimensional cube.
Alright, you can sort of pick it up and rotate it around so the camera sees it. So tell me what you know about the shape or what you think about it.
Well, this has, I believe, 8 cubes in it. So you've got an outer cube and an inner cube, and then each of these faces in 4 dimensions would have a cube extending inwards toward it on this face. And then, so that would add up to 8 different cubes, 3-dimensional cubes inside this 4-dimensional cube.
Alright, why don't you pick one of the shapes?
Let's look at this one. I think this is the 4-dimensional dodecahedron.
Why don't you move it into the center and I'll zoom in because it's a really cool shape. There you go. You can have it in your hand.
Yeah, I don't remember if this is the 120 cell or the 720 cell. But it's the 4-dimensional representation of the dodecahedron, or the 4-dimensional equivalent to the dodecahedron. It has a lot of kind of dodecahedron-like shapes that make up it. I guess the faces would be comprised of dodecahedrons.
Yeah, it's a image. What about that last one? We can move it to the center too.
This one is a 4-dimensional tetrahedron. It's made up of 4 tetrahedral faces. You can kind of see like one. This is a tetrahedron here, and then there's 3 and 4 of them.
Yeah, do you remember the name of that shape?
I think it's the 4 cell.
Yeah, I think it's the 5 cell.
5 cell.
5 cell.
Yeah, because I guess the 5th one is right on the outside.
That's right.
And then it has this kind of different way of projecting it, which makes these like arcs and makes it look like it's blown up a little bit.
Yeah, and then we actually put together, I don't know how much I need to zoom out for this, but we put together, sorry, can you grab that? I must line them up in some sort of natural order. What's going on here with this? Can you say what we're doing here? And you also mentioned that we really should have started with a single point, which is, can you grab one out of the bowl there? Since no matter where you are in our house, there's a zone ball within reach. What do we got here?
Well, this is the progression of different dimensions, and it's like you start with a point which is in the 0 dimension. Then you extend that point in one direction to a line.
Okay.
You extend the line in one direction to a square. Extend the square upwards to cube, and then somehow you go from 3 dimensions to 4 dimensions and make this hypercube shape.
Okay. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so each of these is kind of adding a new direction of motion. Where you start with 0, then you add your first one, and then your second one, and then your third one, and then the representation of what the 4th one would look like. And we have, I guess there's more than one way to represent this.
Yeah, actually that's going to be what the next video is.
Right.
But does this kind of representing make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you do for a 5th dimensional one?
Well, we'd have to find a new way of, like a new representation of a direction that's not parallel to any of your existing lines.
Yeah, and that's hard.
Yeah, I mean, it won't, like doing it this way won't really look nice just because you've taken all the 45s here. So it would look a bit strange, but it would be an okay representation.
Yeah, so that's the trick is we've run out of dimensions. Even here, all these yellow struts are supposed to be parallel,
Yes.
but they're not. Okay, let's look at an alternate representation because it's actually really neat.